Hi everyone, welcome back to Toy Talk. So today we're going to go back to 1990 and the big movie, or one of the big movies of the summer, I believe was the summer movie, was Dick Tracy, starring Warren Beatty and Madonna and a host of other people playing villains. And they did a pretty good job on the toy line for that. And recently couldn't resist getting this new doll from the series that they did. And of course, there were only two female characters that I remember, and that's Breathless Mahoney, who Madonna played. She was a nightclub singer and, kind of vamp. And Tess Truelove, I think, was the name of Dick Tracy's girlfriend, for lack of a better word. I don't know if that's what they called her. And she was, kind of plain. So quite a difference between Madonna's character and her. And hopefully some of you saw that movie because I think it was really kind of interesting for the type of movie it was. And what I really liked was the visual appearance with all the primary colors and other colors, just very colorful. So first of all, I want to show you these two that I've had a long time. They're just PVC figures. So first of all, Dick Tracy himself looking at, I guess, his watch. And that's the Warren Beatty character. Um, just your normal plastic, hard plastic, rubbery figures. And then the Madonna vamp um, type character of Breathless Mahoney, the sultry songstress is what they refer to her as. I'm sure this is one of the outfits she wore in the movie. Now, to me, this looks more like Madonna herself, as far as the hair and the look, than the character, but so be it. Also, they did a great line of action figures, which I have most of them. Now, I have two that are in packages, and that's Dick Tracy. And you see all the red and the yellow and the green and the blue. I mean, the red, yellow, and blue were like big colors in this way they did this, but there were other colors too. So yeah, they were kind of funny because I don't know why, but they were like almost bow-legged looking, as you can see here. And on the back, they show you all the different characters, and these are mostly villains that he comes up against. For instance, let's see, the Brow, Sam Ketchum, Rodent, Pruneface, Lips, Manless, Itchy, Mumbles, which I believe, by the way, Mumbles was played by Dustin Hoffman, if I remember correctly. And then Al Pacino was in this too. I think he played Rodent, maybe, or Big Boy. And actually, I think it was Big Boy. So, and I have a bunch of these figures out of the package somewhere that I'm not sure where they are right now, but in one of the totes of the many I have that are loose dolls and figures. So they're in there somewhere. But here is Dick Tracy, and of course he has guns and a baton, and I'm surprised he doesn't have a jacket or a walkie-talkie, but I don't see those two things. He wore the jacket a lot, that yellow jacket, and of course the hat, which he does have on. Here's one of the villains that I mentioned, Lips Manless, which is kind of an interesting name. Manless. Calling Dick Tracy, boys just iced a bookie, it says. And then, let's see, they tell you about the character on the back, like what this particular is a gangster, dapper dandy with a brash criminal style, and it tells you about his weapons, past crimes, this quote, which is just because you're a good for nothing gangster is no reason to dress bad. Okay. And so forth. So then they give you a look at the comic strip up here, which of course is where this started. Gangland 30 style underworld of deadly crime bosses and the vicious thugs. They didn't count on his law, it says. So yeah, of course he's got the big lips from Lips Manless. What gets me about this is some people who have plastic surgery today end up looking like Lips Manless. So okay, and then this is going to be a little bit shorter video today, but I do want to show you this beautiful Dick Tracy Breathless Mahoney doll. Now, I will say when I ordered it, I honestly hadn't seen this in years, although I'm sure I saw it at the time. Kind of surprised I didn't get it back then or since then. But I honestly thought it was a Barbie-sized doll. I don't know if the size was listed, but look what size it actually is. It's like maybe 18 inches. I mean, because if you hold it next to a, whoops, let's not have an avalanche here. Typical Barbie, obviously, it's a lot bigger. Um, Now, this is open at the top, so I'm going to take her out and do a bit of a review of this doll. So, by the way, here is the back of the box. So again, they're doing some of the comic strip look on here, and they tell you about Breathless Mahoney, a good girl gone bad. So, her little story. I thought this was a great part for Madonna, by the way. This picture looks more like Mae West, although thinner. Mae was very voluptuous, than Madonna, and so I don't think that's a very good picture. I think that's a earlier rendition of the doll, because the doll doesn't really look like that. So here's what the doll does look like, and I'm going to turn her head forward so you can get a better look. I like her hair. I think it's kind of fun. She's got this big blue boa. And the only thing I don't like is that this is plastic here, so it's sort of molded on clothing, which Barbie would do years later, of course. She's got a stand that has a mic on it right here for her singing. That's not for her to stand on. I think she might be able to stand alone because of the type of doll she is. I do like her face, but I don't think it looks an awfully lot like Madonna. I don't know if Madonna didn't give permission, and it's more based on the cartoon look. I'm not sure, but that doesn't look like Madonna to me. It doesn't favor her at all. Now, it could also be that they didn't have someone very good at doing likenesses. Who knows? But I love the blue. She was in blue a lot in the movie, from what I remember, and black, as you saw earlier. I don't remember too many other colors. It's been a while since I've seen this movie. If you all have seen it, did you enjoy the movie? Did you like Madonna's portrayal and Warren Beatty's portrayal, or other people in it? The other thing I want to mention, because it to me is like one of the stars of the whole movie, is the soundtrack. Madonna sings at least 4 songs and maybe more, I believe more on it. Like Sooner or Later is one of them, and I can't think of any others right now, but just a great soundtrack, and I think it's such a good addition to the movie. Of course, she's a singer in the movie, which makes sense. She's a singer in real life, too. But yeah, it was just fun. It's a fun movie. Even though it's a gangster type movie with a detective or whatever he's considered, Dick Tracy, a copper, definitely. It's still a little bit lighthearted somehow. I don't know how to. Maybe that's because it's based on a comic. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think overall this is a nice doll. I just really wish they would have done an actual dress. I don't understand why they chose to do it this way. Maybe because cartoon based. I don't know. That I'm not really sure. But the feather boa, well, it's not a feather boa, but the boa is obviously material of a different kind. But here's a little bit better look. She's very slinky, so now I'm trying to see if she has any jewelry. She does have some molded on bracelets. Let me see if you can see those. Whoops, the paper came loose, or the cardboard. There she is, or there it is. I don't see any rings. I'm not seeing any, or a necklace. So her head moves, obviously. The arms move up and down some. I'm not sure how much. Right now she's still on the backer. And of course the legs wouldn't really move because, not like that, because they're molded into the dress. So that's the big downside to this doll. Now, I got it for like $15. I think this is well worth $15, especially being from 1990. It's vintage, I think, at this point. And also, it says Special Collector's Edition. Now, this is from, by the way, Playmates. And Playmates was so busy making figures and toys back then of different kinds. And this was just one series they did. I mean, Star Trek was another big series that they did. I have tons of action figures from them. So yeah, that's Breathless Mahoney from Dick Tracy. I'm going to put this box down here for now and give you one final look at her. And then just wrapping up, I just want to say that, as I mentioned in my last video, I'm doing more selling these days due to trying to prepare way ahead for retirement. I mean, I have so much, and I don't want to leave it to other people to have to do this. So, especially on the action figures, I've started selling those in the last couple weeks. Just two. I've brought two totes back from my storage unit, and I've sold around 30 figures already. I had one guy in Georgia bought, I think it was about 15, and then I had a guy that I know locally here from theater who came and bought probably at least 15, and I'm keeping track of which ones and for how much. But yeah, so I sold a couple shadow figures. I sold a bunch of them. I have only 4 Marvel figures left of the ones I had, which was 32 in the beginning. And also, I sold two, no, one or actually, it was more than one. One guy bought one DC, which was Superman. That went really well and much better than I realized. And then the Invisible Woman went for like $61. So, it's doing well. Now, I'll probably have to pay taxes on this at the end. I mean, it's based on profit. So, everybody be aware of that, by the way, that when you sell things nowadays online, if you go over $600, is my understanding, then eBay is going to get you a 1099 somehow. They'll need your social for that. And then once you figure what you paid versus what you sold it for, the profit, is my understanding, is what you're going to be taxed on. So not fun, but part of selling. So I'm considering starting charging taxes on the things that I sell personally. Now, when it's on eBay, they do that for you. But anyway, it's getting a little confusing. But bottom line, I got to sell some stuff. So that's what I'm doing. So I hope you enjoyed this look at Dick Tracy figures. I just showed you a few today. And if you do enjoy it, maybe I'll do a part 2 once I find those others. So have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.